dog. This cry was not a bark, not a howl, but something broken and trembling. The kind of sound that grips the air and squeezes your chest before your mind even understands it. It tore through the quiet afternoon with a strange urgency, sharp enough to make the sparrows burst from the mango tree. Bruno stood in the chicken coop, completely still. His ears were pinned back. His tail, usually a happy metronome of excitement, hung low and stiff. His dark eyes were wide, locked on something unseen from a distance. The dusty backyard, bathed in warm golden sunlight, suddenly felt tense, as though the world itself had paused. Inside the coop, feathers rustled, but not in the usual lazy, comfortable way. This was frantic. Bruno's cry came again, shaky, desperate, almost pleading. It echoed strangely against the cracked brick walls of the yard. Anyone who knew Bruno would have felt the difference instantly. This was not noise, this was alarm, fear, warning. Near the wooden fence, Daisy lay on the ground. The old mother hen's wings were spread awkwardly, one bent at an unnatural angle. Her breathing was shallow, barely lifting her fragile body. Only hours ago, she had been wandering peacefully across the yard, clucking softly as Bruno followed behind her like a loyal guardian. Daisy was the gentlest of all the hens, slow-moving, trusting, almost dignified in her quiet routines. Now she did not move, and beside her, like a nightmare formed from shadow and muscle, a cobra had risen. Its body was coiled, glossy scales catching streaks of sunlight. Its hood flared wide, swaying slowly, hypnotically. Silent. Patient. Terrifying. The snake's cold, unblinking eyes were fixed on Daisy's helpless form. Bruno did not step forward, but he did not retreat either. His paws pressed into the dirt, claws slightly digging in. Every instinct in his body screamed at him to run, yet something stronger held him there. He trembled, not with hesitation, but with the unbearable tension of a creature caught between terror and loyalty. The cobra shifted, its hood tilted slightly, sensing movement, sensing presence. Bruno's chest rose and fell rapidly. A soft whimper slipped through his clenched jaw. His gaze flickered from Daisy to the snake and back again, as if searching desperately for a solution his mind could barely grasp. Daisy twitched. A tiny, fragile movement, but enough. The cobra reacted instantly, hood widening, body tightening with deadly precision. Bruno! His cry shattered the stillness again, louder now, filled with something almost human. A sound of panic, of helplessness, of refusal. Dust stirred beneath his paws as he shifted his weight. Muscles taut, heart racing like thunder inside his ribs. Sunlight still warmed the yard. The wind still whispered through the leaves. But in that small patch of earth, beneath the silent gaze of predator and prey, everything had changed. Something terrible was about to happen. The silence pressed down like weight. Even the leaves of the mango tree seemed afraid to move. Bruno stood trembling, every muscle drawn tight as wire. His breath came in short bursts, chest rising and falling so fast it looked painful. The cobra swayed slow and deliberate, its hood spread like a dark fan of death. Daisy made a faint sound. Not a cluck, not a cry, just a weak, broken rustle of feathers against dirt. Bruno, eyes snapped toward her. His ears twitched forward. Hope and terror, colliding inside him. She was alive. Barely, but alive. His paws shifted instinctively, yet he froze again as the cobra's head turned sharply. The snake had heard it too. Its body tightened, coils drawing closer beneath it. The air felt electric, charged with danger. Bruno could sense the strike before it came, could feel it in the rigid stillness of the serpent form. He took a step. The cobra's hood flared wider. Bruno stopped. Fear clawed through him, cold and overwhelming. His instinct screamed retreat, survival, escape. But Daisy lay helpless, wings twisted, eyes dull with pain. She had never feared Bruno. She had followed him, trusted him, shared the yard like family. He could not leave. Another soft whimper escaped his throat, lower now, trembling with helpless frustration. His gaze darted wildly across the yard. The fence, the coop. The scattered objects half buried in dust. His mind raced, searching for something, anything. The cobra lowered slightly, not retreating, preparing. Bruno. As heart hammered so loudly it seemed impossible the snake could not hear it. Time slowed into unbearable fragments. The world narrowed to Daisy's fragile body and the poised, lethal shadow beside her. Then Bruno noticed it. A dented metal bowl lying crooked near the water tap, forgotten after the morning feeding. His eyes locked onto it. For a split second, confusion flickered through his fear. It was nothing, useless, meaningless, but desperation has a strange way of rewriting logic. Bruno moved suddenly, paws scraping the dirt as he lunged sideways. The cobra head snapped toward him. Bruno grabbed the edge of the bowl with his teeth and shoved. The harsh screech of metal against ground exploded through the yard. The cobra recoiled. Its hood twitched, body shifting with visible irritation. The sound ripped through the tense silence like tearing fabric. Bruno pushed harder, dragging the bowl in a wide, frantic arc. Dust flew. The noise grew louder, sharper, relentless. The cobra hissed. Its attention wavered. Bruno's fear surged, but so did something else. Determination. Again he shoved the bowl, claws digging deep, muscles straining. The grating metal shriek echoed wildly. The snake's hypnotic focus fractured, its head turning fully toward the maddening disturbance. For the first time since the nightmare began, the cobra's eyes left Daisy. And Bruno, trembling yet relentless, understood something in that instant. He did need to fight the snake. He just needed to steal its attention. The metal bowl screamed across the dirt again. Bruno shoved it with everything he had, the scraping noise jagged and relentless. Dust spiraled into the air, catching sunlight like drifting smoke. The cobra's hood quivered, its body swaying with rising agitation. The snake hissed sharply, head snapping toward the grating sound. Its attention shifted. That tiny fracture in its focus changed everything. Bruno felt it, a sudden opening, fragile and fleeting. His muscles tightened, fear surging violently through his body. Every instinct warned him of the danger, of the lightning-fast strike that could end him in a heartbeat. But Daisy lay behind the cobra, still helpless, still breathing. Bruno moved. In one explosive burst, he abandoned the bowl and lunged forward, paws pounding against the ground. The cobra reacted instantly, its hood jerking back toward the sudden motion. The serpent's body compressed like a spring drawn to its breaking point. Bruno did not aim for the snake. He aimed for Daisy. He skidded across the dirt, claws tearing small grooves behind him. His teeth closed gently around Daisy. Bent wing. Careful, controlled. Astonishingly delicate for a creature driven by panic. Her feathers filled his mouth, warm and trembling. The cobra struck. A violent flash of motion, faster than sight. But Bruno had already pulled. Daisy's body slid backward just as the snake's fangs lashed through empty air. The cobra's head snapped downward with a furious hiss, its body recoiling in frustration. Bruno's heart exploded inside his chest, adrenaline burning like fire through his veins. He yanked Daisy harder. Her body dragged across the dirt, feathers scattering. The cobra lunged again. This time Bruno reacted on pure instinct. He kicked backward wildly, his hind leg slamming into the metal bowl. The bowl shot forward with a violent clang, spinning directly into the snake's coils. The impact shattered the cobra's balance. The serpent recoiled violently, hood collapsing for a split second. Bruno did hesitate. He pulled Daisy with desperate strength, muscles straining, paws scrambling for grip. The ground seemed endless, the distance impossibly far. The cobra recovered. With terrifying speed it surged forward, scales rippling like liquid shadow. Bruno could feel the vibration of its movement through the earth. Panic clawed at him, but he refused to release Daisy. His jaws remained locked, his body driven by something beyond fear. Survival had become secondary. Only Daisy mattered. Again the cobra lunged, its hiss slicing through the air like a blade. Bruno twisted sideways, dragging Daisy in a sharp, chaotic arc. The snake's strike missed by inches, its fangs snapping shut with a dry, chilling click. Bruno shoved Daisy behind him, positioning his own trembling body between her and death. The cobra rose higher now, hood flared wide, fury radiating from every taut coil. The air vibrated with danger. Bruno's chest heaved violently, legs shaking, eyes burning with raw determination. He was exhausted, terrified, outmatched. Yet he stood his ground, a trembling guardian facing a silent, lethal storm. The cobra hovered for a moment that felt endless. Its hood remained flared, body lifted, eyes cold and calculating. Bruno stood frozen, legs trembling so violently they threatened to collapse beneath him. Daisy lay just behind him, her frail body barely moving, feathers dusted with dirt. The world seemed balanced on a razor's edge. Then, from beyond the fence, a sudden shout pierced the air. Human voices, footsteps pounding. The vibration traveled through the ground before the sound fully arrived. The cobra sensed it instantly. Its hood twitched. Its body shifted with subtle tension. Bruno could T-move, but his eyes flickered toward the approaching noise. The yard exploded into motion. The back door slammed open. The family rushed out, their faces drained of color as their eyes locked onto the terrifying scene. A scream tore through the air. Someone grabbed a stick. Another threw a stone that struck the dirt with a sharp crack. The cobra recoiled. In one fluid, chilling motion, it collapsed its hood and slid backward. Its scales rippled like flowing water as it vanished into the tall grass beyond the fence, leaving only silence and trembling dust behind. Bruno did T-chase. He could T. The moment the danger disappeared, his strength seemed to drain from him all at once. His legs buckled, and he collapsed beside Daisy, chest heaving wildly. His entire body shook with the aftershocks of fear, adrenaline, exhaustion. But his eyes never left her. Hands reached for Daisy, lifting her gently. Voices buzzed with panic and relief. Bruno tried to stand, paws slipping weakly against the dirt. A soft, broken whimper escaped him as they carried her away. He followed. Slowly, unsteadily. Inside the shaded corner of the yard, Daisy was placed on a bed of soft cloth. Water was brought. Careful hands hovered around her injured wing. Bruno lay down beside her, his breathing still ragged, his gaze heavy but unwavering. Minutes passed. Then something extraordinary happened. Daisy stirred. Her chest rose deeper this time. Her eyes, once dull with pain, fluttered open. The frantic voices softened into stunned quiet. Bruno lifted his head, ears twitching, heart thundering once more, but now with hope. Daisy moved weakly, painfully, yet with purpose. She turned her fragile head toward Bruno. For a long, silent moment they simply looked at each other. The trembling dog, the injured hen. Two small creatures bound by something invisible yet undeniable. Then Daisy leaned forward, slow, trembling, fragile. And gently, impossibly gently, she rested her head against Bruno's neck. The yard fell completely silent. Bruno, as shaking stopped. Not slowly, not gradually, but all at once. And in that quiet, golden stillness, beneath the fading afternoon light, everyone witnessed a truth far greater than fear, greater than instinct, greater even than survival. Love does not always roar. Sometimes it simply stays.